Here, the Canadian press obtained documents with details about former Alberta Premier Alison Redford's personal travel guide. Redford hired Michelle Tetro to travel ahead and scout out hotels, restaurants, and transportation. Tetro received an annual salary of more than $120,000. I'm going to go to Stockwell Day on this one. What's your take on this?
In this particular case, there's a challenge for not just former Premier Redford, but for all premiers, especially if you want to see your province doing business in Asia. You're under pressure all the time from business groups, agriculture groups, export groups to be there, to fly the flag for your province. So she has to travel. I looked through a lot of those documents that you just talked about, and I'm sure this is going to upset some people when I say it. It looks like that particular individual did a very thorough job. You can't go to another country as a premier or a national leader and not have an advanced person, not know where you're going. You can't be standing there wondering where the washrooms are. The problem that former Premier Redford has had, the Auditor General's report out of Alberta talked about misuse of the government plane in and around Alberta. That starts a cascade of reports which continue. I mean, it adds up. It's the it's the butterfly wings in the northern part of the planet can result, they say, in a tornado or a hurricane in the southern part. She's facing a hurricane. So when these reports come out, it just makes it look even worse, even though that person actually, from what I saw, did a pretty good job. When you can have a group of people, 7 people, have dinner at a top restaurant in New Delhi for less than $400, you've done well. But later on in the evening, when you've got an $800 bar bill, that's when you're going to start running into trouble.
Glenn, do you agree with Stockwell Day? Do you think a premier of a province really requires a travel scout?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she probably could have spent some time on TripAdvisor and saved us some money, but, I mean, the Prime Minister sends out
the Trivago man.
Right. The Prime Minister sends out advanced teams, not just one person. Stock is right. It has to be done. You can't just send a leader in or a premier in cold into these countries. And, they have to know the customs and how they should be conducting themselves. But I think, all the stories we've had about Redford so far we've built this rubric, and everything that happens now we interpret through that lens. And had we had any of the stories about the airplane or the apartment, probably this would have been not such a big deal.
So this one probably just would have sailed on by. I want to thank our power panel tonight. Stockwell Day, Jerry Kaplan, Rob Silver sitting side by side there, making sure each other behave. Isn't that nice? And of course,